My entire family walked out of my 7-year-old daughter's birthday party. They stayed for exactly 12 minutes. Long enough to take photos for social media. Not long enough to sing happy birthday. Emma stood in the middle of our living room wearing a plastic tiara and a dress she had picked out herself, watching 23 people file out the front door like she was invisible. Her birthday cake sat untouched on the table. 17 wrapped presents remained unopened. She did not cry until they were gone. I did not chase them. I did not beg. I pulled out my phone and sent 3 text messages that would change everything. The next morning at 6:14 a.m., my phone started ringing. My mother, hysterical. By noon, my sister was at my door, not knocking, pounding, screaming my name through the wood. It was supposed to be a small party. Nothing elaborate. Just family. I had spent 2 weeks planning it. The invitations went out on March 3rd, handwritten by Emma herself. She had used her best cursive, the kind she practiced every night at the kitchen table with her tongue sticking out in concentration. Each envelope had a sticker seal, a different one for each person. Unicorns for my mother. Dinosaurs for my father. Butterflies for my sister, Vanessa. Cars for her husband, Greg. Do you think they will come? Emma had asked me, sealing the last envelope. Of course they will come, I had told her, believing it. Wanting it to be true. Emma had turned 7 on March 15th. A Tuesday. She had asked if we could have her party on the weekend so everyone could make it. So I scheduled it for Saturday, March 18th, at 2 in the afternoon. Plenty of time for people to plan. Plenty of notice. I had called my mother to confirm 2 weeks before. She said yes, absolutely, they would be there. My father was retired, so his schedule was open. Vanessa and Greg could make it work. Their twins, Jackson and Olivia, age 9, would love to come. Emma will be so excited, I had said. We would not miss it, Mom had assured me. I should have known better. But hope makes you stupid. My name is Andrea Hayes, though most people call me Andy. I am 32 years old and I have worked as an elementary school teacher for the past 8 years. 2nd grade, mostly. The age where kids still think teachers know everything and the world makes sense. I teach at Lincoln Elementary, about 20 minutes from my house. It is a good school. A good job. The kind of stable, respectable career my parents always said they were proud of, even though they never really acted like it. I had Emma when I was 25. Her father, Marcus, left when I was 6 months pregnant. Said he was not ready. Said he needed to figure himself out. Sent a check for child support every month like clockwork but never called, never visited, never asked how she was doing. Emma did not know him. Did not miss him. It was just the 2 of us, and that had always been enough. Except it was not enough for my family. They made that clear from the beginning. When Emma was born, my mother came to the hospital. She stayed for 40 minutes. Held Emma once, took 3 photos, and left. Said she had somewhere to be. I sat there in that hospital bed, exhausted and alone, staring at my newborn daughter and wondering why it felt like I had done something wrong. Vanessa did not come to the hospital at all. She sent a text. Congrats. Hope you are both healthy. No flowers. No visit. No acknowledgement that her sister had just become a mother. But when Vanessa had her twins 2 years later, the family threw a massive celebration. Balloons. Banners. A cake with their names in edible gold letters. My parents flew in from the vacation they were on just to be there for the birth. They stayed for a week, helping with feedings, cooking meals, doing laundry. I brought Emma to visit when the twins were 3 days old. She was 2.5. She had picked out a stuffed bear for each baby, used her own allowance to buy them. She was so proud. Vanessa barely looked at her. Thank you, she said, setting the bears aside. That is sweet. My mother cooed over Jackson and Olivia, holding them for hours, taking hundreds of photos. She did not ask to hold Emma. Did not even acknowledge she was there. That was the pattern. The beginning of years of exclusion so subtle that you could not quite point to it, but so consistent that you felt it in your bones. Birthdays were the worst. Every year, my parents made a big deal out of the twins' birthday. Big parties with bounce houses and magicians and guest lists that stretched into the dozens. They posted about it on social media, tagged everyone, made sure the world knew how much they loved their grandchildren. Emma's birthdays were different. Smaller. Quieter. Sometimes my parents forgot entirely. One year, they sent a card 3 weeks late. Another year, they did not send anything at all. When Emma was 4, she asked me why Grandma and Grandpa did not love her the way they loved Jackson and Olivia. I told her they did. I told her they were just busy. I told her so many lies because I did not know how to explain that sometimes people are cruel for no reason. By the time she was 6, she stopped asking. She just accepted it. The way kids do when they have no other choice. But this year was different. This year, Emma had asked for one thing. Just one. I want Grandma and Grandpa and Aunt Vanessa to come to my party, she had said. A real party. Not just you and me. I want it to feel like a real birthday. It broke my heart. This child who had learned to expect nothing was asking for the bare minimum. Family. Presents. Proof that she mattered. So I planned it. I called everyone. I confirmed. I reminded them. I made sure they had no excuses. And they said yes. I spent $217 on decorations. Streamers in purple and silver, Emma's favorite colors. Balloons shaped like stars. A banner that said Happy 7th Birthday Emma in glittery letters. I hung it across the living room, and Emma stood in the doorway, eyes wide, whispering, "It is perfect." I ordered a cake from the bakery she loved. Chocolate with vanilla frosting. 2 layers. 7 candles shaped like flowers. It cost $64, more than I usually spent, but this was important. This mattered. I made food. Sandwiches, cut into triangles. Chips. Fruit salad. Veggie trays. Cheese and crackers. Cookies I had baked the night before while Emma slept, frosted them with pink icing, added sprinkles. The morning of the party, Emma was up at 6. She could not sleep. Too excited. She tried on her dress 4 times, changed her mind about which shoes to wear, asked me 7 times if I thought everyone would really come. They will come, I said. They promised. At 1:30 p.m., we set everything up. Plates on the table. Cups next to the punch bowl. Presents stacked in the corner. Emma had helped me wrap some of them, her small hands fumbling with tape, tongue poking out in concentration. At 1:45 p.m., Emma put on her tiara. Plastic, with pink jewels. She had picked it out at the dollar store the week before. She adjusted it carefully, looked at herself in the mirror, smiled. "I look like a princess," she said. "You are a princess," I told her. At 2 p.m., the party was supposed to start. Emma sat on the couch, hands folded in her lap, waiting. No one came. At 2:15 p.m., I texted my mother. "Everything okay? We are waiting for you." She responded immediately. "On our way." Traffic. At 2:30 p.m., Emma was still sitting on the couch. She had not moved. She was staring at the door like if she looked hard enough, she could make people appear. "Maybe they got lost," she said quietly. "Maybe," I said. At 2:42 p.m., they arrived. All at once. My parents, Vanessa, Greg, the twins. They walked in together, loud and cheerful, like nothing was wrong. "Sorry we are late," Mom said, breezing past Emma without hugging her. "We had to pick up Vanessa and the kids." Emma stood up, smoothing her dress. "That is okay. I am just happy you are here." Vanessa looked around the living room, taking in the decorations, the food, the cake. "Wow, Andy," she said. "You really went all out." "It is Emma's birthday," I said. "Right," Vanessa said, like she had forgotten. The twins ran straight to the food table, grabbing handfuls of chips. Greg pulled out his phone, started scrolling. My father looked at his watch. Emma stood in the middle of the room, waiting. Hoping. She walked over to my mother, tugged on her sleeve. "Grandma, do you want to see the game I set up? It is pin the tail on the unicorn. I drew the unicorn myself." Mom glanced down at her, distracted. "That is nice, sweetie. Maybe in a bit." Emma nodded, backing away. She went to the corner where the games were stacked. Sat down next to them. Waited. Vanessa pulled out her phone, started taking photos. Of the decorations. Of the cake. Of the twins standing next to the banner. "Get in the picture, Emma," Vanessa called. Emma stood up, walked over. Vanessa positioned her between the twins, snapped 3 photos, then checked her screen. Perfect, she said. These will look great on Instagram. Emma smiled. Small and hopeful. Then Vanessa turned to Greg. We should probably get going soon. We have that thing at 4. My blood went cold. What thing? I asked. Oh, we have reservations, Vanessa said casually. There is this new restaurant that just opened. Supposed to be amazing. We have been trying to get in for weeks. You made reservations on Emma's birthday? Well, we did not know what time the party would be over, Vanessa said, defensive now. And it is at 4. We will be here for at least an hour. You have been here for 10 minutes, I said. Vanessa looked at her watch, surprised. Has it only been 10 minutes? Wow. Time flies. My father cleared his throat. Actually, we should probably head out too. We have an appointment. An appointment? I repeated. On a Saturday afternoon? Car maintenance, Dad said. Scheduled it weeks ago. Forgot about it until this morning. I looked at my mother. She would not meet my eyes. You are leaving, I said. Not a question. A statement. We will be back, Mom said quickly. We just have to run a few errands. We will come back later. Later, I echoed. Yes. After our errands. We will come back and do cake and presents. It was a lie. I could see it in her face. She had no intention of coming back. Emma was watching us. Her face was pale. Her hands were clutching the sides of her dress. Grandma, you just got here, Emma said, voice small. We have not even played any games yet. I know, honey, Mom said, patting her head like she was a dog. But Grandma has things to do. We will be back soon. Emma looked at Vanessa. Aunt Vanessa, can you stay? Just for a little bit? We have cake. Vanessa was already heading toward the door. Sorry, sweetie. We really have to go. Reservations are hard to change. Jackson and Olivia were still eating chips, oblivious. Greg was still on his phone. Let's go, kids, Vanessa called. The twins groaned but followed. Greg put his phone in his pocket, gave me a quick nod, and walked out. My father was already at the door. We will call you later, Andy. Mom hesitated. For just a second, she looked at Emma. Saw the tiara. Saw the dress. Saw the decorations and the cake and the 17 unopened presents. Then she turned and walked out. The door closed. Silence. Emma stood in the middle of the living room, tiara crooked, hands still clutching her dress. She looked at the door. Looked at the cake. Looked at me. They left, she whispered. Yes, I said. They said they would come back. They are not coming back. Her chin trembled. Did I do something wrong? No, baby. You did nothing wrong. Then why did they leave? I did not have an answer. Or maybe I did, but I could not say it out loud. Could not tell this 7-year-old child that her family left because they did not care. Because she was not important enough. Because they had better things to do. Emma walked over to the couch, sat down. The tiara slipped forward. She pushed it back, but it fell again. She took it off, held it in her lap, stared at it. Then she started crying. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just quiet, shaking sobs that made her whole body tremble. I sat down next to her, pulled her into my arms. She buried her face in my shoulder, and I felt her tears soaking through my shirt. I wanted them to stay, she choked out. I wanted a real party. With real family. I know, I whispered. I know. Why do not they love me? I had no answer. So I just held her. Let her cry. Let her break. After a while she pulled away, wiped her face with the back of her hand. Can we do the cake? She asked. Just you and me? Of course, I said. We sat at the table. Just the 2 of us. I lit the 7 candles, sang Happy Birthday by myself, my voice cracking halfway through. Emma blew out the candles. Made a wish. What did you wish for? I asked. That next year will be different, she said. I cut the cake. We each had a slice. It was good. Emma said so. But neither of us finished it. The presents stayed in the corner, unopened. The decorations stayed on the walls. The food sat on the table, untouched. At 4:30 p.m., Emma went to her room. She closed the door quietly. I heard her crying again, softer now, like she was trying not to let me hear. I sat on the couch, staring at the birthday banner. The purple and silver balloons. The cake with 6 unlit candles still stuck in the frosting. Then I pulled out my phone. I did not cry. I did not scream. I opened my messages and sent 3 texts. The first was to my mother. Do not contact me again. Do not call. Do not text. Do not show up at my house. You are not welcome in our lives anymore. The second was to my father. Same goes for you. You chose to leave. You chose to break her heart. That choice has consequences. The third was to Vanessa. You walked out of your niece's birthday party for a restaurant reservation. I hope it was worth it. Because you will never see her again. Then I blocked all of them. Phone numbers, social media, email. Every way they could reach me. Then I sat back and waited. The first call came at 6:14 a.m. the next morning. Sunday. My mother. I did not answer. The call went to voicemail. I did not listen to it. Another call at 6:18 a.m. My father. Voicemail. Deleted. At 6:22 a.m., my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. My mother, using someone else's phone. Andrea, this is ridiculous. Call me back. We need to talk. I blocked the number. At 7:03 a.m., another unknown number. My father this time. You are overreacting. We said we would come back. We got busy. It happens. Stop being dramatic. Blocked. At 8:41 a.m., Vanessa called from Greg's phone. I did not answer. She left a voicemail. I deleted it without listening. By noon, my phone had received 37 calls and 23 text messages, all from unknown numbers, all from my family. I blocked every single one. At 12:14 p.m., there was pounding on my front door. Hard. Aggressive. I looked through the peephole. Vanessa. She was standing on my porch, face red, hair messy. She looked furious. Andy, she shouted, pounding again. Open the door. I know you are in there. I did not move. We need to talk. You cannot just cut us off like this. Open the damn door. Emma came downstairs, still in her pajamas. Who is that? No one important, I said. Vanessa pounded again. Harder. You are being ridiculous. We were going to come back yesterday. We had things to do. You are making this into a bigger deal than it is. Mommy, she is yelling, Emma said, voice shaking. Go back upstairs, sweetheart, I said softly. It is okay. Emma hesitated, then went back up. I heard her door close. Vanessa was still yelling. You think blocking us is going to solve anything? You think you can just shut us out? We are family. I opened the door. Vanessa stopped mid-sentence, eyes wide. She had not expected me to actually open it. Say what you came to say, I said calmly. Then leave. You blocked us, Vanessa said, voice shaking with anger. You sent those texts and then blocked all of us. What the hell is wrong with you? What is wrong with me? I repeated. You walked out of a 7-year-old's birthday party. 12 minutes. That is how long you stayed. You left her standing in the middle of the living room crying because you had a restaurant reservation. We were going to come back, Vanessa snapped. We told you that. You were lying. You had no intention of coming back. And even if you did, it would not matter. You left. That is the point. You chose to leave. We had plans, Vanessa said. We could not cancel them. You made those plans knowing it was Emma's birthday. You made reservations for 4 p.m. when her party started at 2. You knew you would not stay. You knew you would walk out. You just did not care. Vanessa crossed her arms. So what, you are cutting us out forever? Because we left early? That is insane. You did not leave early, I said, voice cold. You left before the party even started. You stayed long enough to take photos for social media and then you walked out. All of you. Together. Like it was planned. It was not planned, Vanessa said, but her voice wavered. Yes, it was, I said. Mom and Dad had a car appointment. You had a reservation. All scheduled beforehand. All conveniently timed so you could show up, get your photos, and leave. You used my daughter's birthday as a photo op. That is all it was to you. Vanessa's face flushed. That is not fair. Emma cried for 3 hours yesterday, I said. She asked me why you did not love her. She asked what she did wrong. She is 7 years old, and she thinks she is not good enough for her own family. So no. I do not think I am being unfair. I think I am protecting my daughter from people who hurt her. We did not mean to hurt her, Vanessa said, voice softer now. We just had other things going on. You always have other things going on, I said. For 7 years, you have had other things going on. Every birthday. Every holiday. Every time Emma needed you, you were busy. And I am done making excuses for you. Vanessa stared at me. So that is it? You are just cutting us out? No second chance. You have had 7 years of second chances, I said. You used them all up. Mom and Dad are devastated, Vanessa said. They have been crying all morning. Dad said you blocked his number. Good, I said. Maybe it will teach them that actions have consequences. You are being cruel, Vanessa said. No, I said. I am being a mother. Something you clearly do not understand. Vanessa's eyes narrowed. What is that supposed to mean? It means if someone did to Jackson and Olivia what you did to Emma, you would lose your mind. But because it is Emma, it does not matter. Because she is not your daughter. She is just your niece. And nieces are disposable. That is not true, Vanessa said, but her voice was weak. Then why did you leave? I asked. Why did you walk out of her party? Vanessa opened her mouth. Closed it. Opened it again. I do not know, she finally said. It just seemed easier. Greg wanted to go to that restaurant. The twins were getting restless. We thought we would come back later, but then we got busy and… Stop, I said. Just stop. You are making excuses. You are trying to justify something that cannot be justified. You hurt my daughter. Intentionally or not, you hurt her. And I am not going to let you do it again. Vanessa stood there, silent. Then she turned and walked away. I closed the door. Locked it. Leaned against it, eyes closed, heart pounding. Upstairs, I heard Emma's door open. She came down slowly, one step at a time. Is she gone? Emma asked. Yes, I said. Is she coming back? No. Emma nodded. She did not ask why. Did not ask if things would get better. Just nodded and went back upstairs. Over the next week, the calls and messages continued. Different numbers every time. Family members I had not spoken to in years, suddenly invested in our relationship. My Aunt Sheila called. Your mother is beside herself. You need to talk to her. I hung up. My Uncle Paul texted. Family does not just abandon family. Whatever happened, you can work it out. I blocked him. A cousin I had not seen since high school messaged me on social media. Vanessa told me what happened. You are being too harsh. They made a mistake. I deleted the message. Then my mother showed up. Wednesday afternoon. I was in the front yard, getting the mail. She pulled into the driveway, got out of her car before I could go inside. Andrea, please, she said, walking toward me. We need to talk. No, we do not, I said, heading for the door. She grabbed my arm. Not hard. Just enough to stop me. Please. Just listen. I pulled away. Let go of me. 5 minutes, she said, voice desperate. Just give me 5 minutes. Why? I asked. So you can make excuses? So you can tell me I am overreacting. So I can apologize, she said. I stopped. Turned to look at her. She looked older than I remembered. Tired. Her eyes were red. Her hair was graying at the temples. You want to apologize, I said flatly. Yes, she said. We were wrong. All of us. We should not have left. We should not have made plans. We should have stayed. Yes, I said. You should have. We did not realize how much it would hurt her, Mom said. We thought she would understand. That she was young enough not to care. She is 7, I said. She cares. I know, Mom said, tears welling in her eyes. I know that now. And I am sorry. We are all sorry. Sorry is not enough, I said. What do you want from us? Mom asked, voice breaking. What can we do to fix this? Nothing, I said. You cannot fix it. You broke something that cannot be repaired. That is not fair, Mom said. We made a mistake. One mistake. It was not one mistake, I said. It was 7 years of mistakes. 7 years of forgetting her birthday. 7 years of ignoring her at family gatherings. 7 years of favoring the twins over her. This was just the final one. The one I could not ignore anymore. Mom shook her head. We did not favor the twins. We love all our grandchildren equally. I laughed. Sharp and bitter. Do you even hear yourself? You threw the twins a party with 50 guests when they turned 7. You rented a bounce house. Hired a clown. Made a 3-tier cake. For Emma's 7th birthday, you stayed for 12 minutes. We had things to do, Mom said weakly. You always have things to do, I said. When it comes to Emma. But when it comes to Jackson and Olivia, you have all the time in the world. Mom was crying now. I do not know how to fix this. You cannot, I said. That is the point. Some things cannot be fixed. So you are just going to shut us out forever? Never speak to us again. Yes, I said. That is exactly what I am going to do. What about Emma? Mom asked. Does not she get a say in this? Emma cried for 3 hours on her birthday, I said. Emma asked me why you did not love her. Emma has spent 7 years trying to earn your approval and getting nothing in return. So no. She does not get a say. Because if I asked her, she would say yes, let them come back, let them have another chance. Because that is who she is. Kind and hopeful and willing to forgive. And I will not let you take advantage of that anymore. Mom stood there, tears streaming down her face. Please, Andrea. Please do not do this. You did this, I said. Not me. You. I turned and walked inside. Closed the door. Locked it. She stood in the driveway for another 10 minutes. I watched through the window. She cried. She paced. She looked at the door like she was thinking about knocking. Then she got in her car and drove away. That night, Emma asked me if Grandma had been here. Yes, I said. What did she want? To apologize. Emma was quiet for a moment. Did you forgive her? No, I said. Why not? Because some things do not deserve forgiveness. Emma nodded. Okay. That was it. No argument. No plea. Just acceptance. Over the next few months, things changed. My parents tried to reach out several times. Cards in the mail. Emails. Messages through mutual friends. I ignored all of them. Vanessa sent Emma a birthday present the following year. I returned it unopened. My Aunt Sheila called me a vindictive bitch on social media. I blocked her. But Emma? Emma was different. She stopped asking about them. Stopped wondering why they did not love her. Stopped trying to earn their approval. She started smiling more. Laughing more. She made friends at school. Real friends who invited her to their parties and meant it. On her 8th birthday, we had a party. Just a small one. 5 of her school friends. We played games. Ate cake. Opened presents. She wore a different tiara, blue this time, and she did not take it off all day. This is the best birthday ever, she said, hugging me tight. Better than last year? I asked. Way better, she said. Because everyone who is here actually wants to be here. And that was the truth. By her 9th birthday, she did not even mention my family. They were a distant memory. A chapter we had closed. I heard through mutual friends that my parents were struggling. They had lost contact with most of their social circle. People knew what had happened, or at least a version of it, and they did not approve. Vanessa and Greg were having problems. Marital problems. The kind that start when you realize you have different values. I did not care. Fast forward to now. Emma is 10. She is confident, brave. She speaks up for herself. She knows her worth. Last week, she had a sleepover. 6 girls from school. They stayed up until midnight, giggling and watching movies. When I checked on them at 12:30 a.m., they were all asleep in a pile on the living room floor, tangled in blankets and pillows. Emma was smiling in her sleep. I thought about that birthday party. The decorations. The cake. The tiara. The way she cried when they left. And I thought about how different things were now. I do not regret cutting them out. Not for a second. Because Emma is happy. Really, truly happy. And that is worth more than any relationship with people who never valued her in the first place. My mother sent another card last month. Emma's 10th birthday. Inside was a check for $100 and a note. We miss you. We love you. Please let us back into your lives. Emma looked at it, then at me. What should I do with this? Whatever you want, I said. She tore up the check. Threw it in the trash. Did not even hesitate. I do not need their money, she said. And I do not need them. Are you sure? I asked. Yes, she said. I have everything I need. She hugged me. Tight and warm and real. And I knew I had made the right choice. Because sometimes protecting your child means cutting out the people who were supposed to protect them. It means choosing their peace over family obligation. It means walking away from blood because blood does not make you family. Love does. And they never loved her the way she deserved. So I chose her. And I would choose her again. Every single time. So what do you think? Did I go too far, or just far enough? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want more stories about mothers who chose their children over toxic families, do not forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. I've got 2 more stories queued up for you, both about the moment we realize protecting our kids means walking away from the people who were supposed to love them. Click on whichever one calls to you. Until next time, remember, family is about who shows up, not who shows up in your DNA.